Good evening. In a development that has sent ripples of both hope and skepticism across the international community, a high-stakes, direct line has been opened between two of the world's most influential leaders. Moments ago, we received confirmation of a critical phone call between President Donald Trump of the United States and President Vladimir Putin of Russia, with the singular, urgent focus on the escalating crisis in Gaza and the elusive quest for a lasting ceasefire. This is not merely a diplomatic exchange, it is a testament to the sheer desperation for a resolution in a conflict that continues to claim lives, exacerbate a humanitarian catastrophe, and destabilize an already volatile region. The stakes could not be higher, and the world watches to see if this convergence of powerful wills can forge a path where previous efforts have faltered. For weeks, the world has been gripped by the intensifying conflict in Gaza. What began as hypothetical trigger, e.g., escalating border clashes/a targeted military operation, has spiraled into a devastating cycle of violence, with hypothetical casualty figures, e.g., thousands of lives lost, including a tragic number of civilians. The humanitarian situation on the ground is dire, with reports of, e.g., widespread displacement, critical shortages of food, water, and medical supplies, painting a harrowing picture. 2 Repeated ceasefire attempts, brokered by various international bodies and regional powers, have repeatedly collapsed, often within hours, due to, e.g., fundamental disagreements on terms, continued hostilities, or a lack of trust between the warring parties. The core demands from the involved parties remain entrenched. Hamas continues to call for, e.g., a complete end to the blockade and withdrawal of forces, while Israel insists on, e.g., the dismantling of military capabilities and the return of all hostages. Bridging this seemingly insurmountable divide has proven impossible, pushing the need for a truly robust, internationally guaranteed intervention. It was against this backdrop of escalating crisis that the highly anticipated phone call took place. While the full transcript will likely remain under wraps, our sources indicate the conversation began with a formal acknowledgement of the gravity of the situation. Vladimir, good to speak with you. Look, we have a real problem in Gaza. A big one. It's a disaster, frankly. People are dying, badly. We need to get this thing stopped, and stopped fast. I know you've got influence, we've got influence. Let's make a deal here, a great deal for peace. Mr. President, I appreciate your call on this critical matter. Russia, too, observes with deep concern the unfolding tragedy in Gaza. Our position has been consistent. The suffering of civilians is unacceptable. We must uphold international law and ensure humanitarian access. This is not merely a regional issue, its instability echoes globally. I believe a comprehensive, lasting solution, not just a temporary pause, is paramount. The differing philosophies of the two leaders became immediately apparent. President Trump, known for his transactional approach, is said to have focused on the immediate cessation of hostilities and the immediate release of all hostages, a direct, results-oriented strategy aimed at stopping the violence at all costs. His emphasis, sources suggest, was on leveraging whatever direct pressure could be brought to bear on both sides. President Putin, on the other hand, reportedly stressed the necessity of a broader, more internationally sanctioned framework. He is understood to have pushed for robust humanitarian corridors, guaranteed aid delivery mechanisms, and a comprehensive plan that addresses underlying grievances, hinting at Russia's preference for a solution rooted in established international norms and potentially involving a larger role for multilateral bodies or even Russian guarantees. This highlights Russia's long-standing desire for a seat at every table concerning Middle Eastern security. The core of their discussion then moved to the critical question of leverage. What can these two powerful nations, often at odds, bring to the table to genuinely influence the warring factions? For President Trump, the leverage stems from America's unparalleled financial aid and military support to key regional players, particularly Israel. The prospect of, e.g., withholding aid/modifying diplomatic support, could be a powerful tool, though one rarely, if ever, deployed. There's also the implicit threat of increased international isolation if a party remains intransigent. Sources suggest Trump would have emphasized his unique ability to broker a deal that others might not be able to achieve, potentially offering incentives for cooperation. President Putin's leverage is different but equally significant. Russia maintains complex and often influential relationships with various regional actors, including some Arab states and Iran, who in turn have varying degrees of influence over groups like Hamas. 3 Putin can present Russia as a neutral, albeit powerful, mediator, less beholden to the historical allegiances that sometimes complicate Western diplomacy in the region. He could offer security guarantees or play a crucial role in post-ceasefire arrangements, ensuring stability through a Russian lens. His focus would likely have been on long-term regional security architecture, where Russia has a significant voice. The call likely involved a delicate dance of shared interest in ending the immediate violence, interwoven with each leader's broader geopolitical ambitions. Was this a genuine alignment of purpose, or merely a pragmatic, temporary convergence born out of urgent necessity? Both leaders have their own national interests in the Middle East, from energy stability to counter-terrorism, and each would have subtly, or not so subtly, sought to advance their country's standing. So, what update might this extraordinary call provide? Reports so far are cautiously optimistic, but far from conclusive. It appears both leaders have agreed on the absolute necessity of an immediate ceasefire and the rapid acceleration of humanitarian aid delivery. However, the path to a lasting peace, addressing the deep-rooted political issues, remains fraught with obstacles. This call may be a crucial commitment to further, intense diplomatic engagement, rather than a definitive breakthrough. It positions President Trump as a central figure in global problem-solving, leveraging his personal rapport and deal-making reputation, while solidifying President Putin's role as an indispensable, if often challenging, global mediator. The immediate challenge now shifts to how this high-level understanding translates into concrete action on the ground. The devil, as always, is in the details of implementation, and the willingness of the warring parties to genuinely adhere to any agreement. The call also puts pressure on other international actors, from the United Nations to the European Union and regional powers, to intensify their own diplomatic efforts, perhaps in coordination with this new bilateral impetus. The Gaza conflict remains one of the most intractable challenges of our time. Today's call between President Trump and President Putin, while not a magical solution, represents a significant, if unusual, diplomatic lifeline. The world holds its breath, hoping that this convergence of power can at last bring an end to the unimaginable suffering. We will continue to bring you every development as this critical situation unfolds. Thank you for watching.